Master, surely you got a PS5.
Strong am I with the Force, but not that strong.
Woo! What a great holiday it was. For the scalpers. Alright, but let's get serious. How many out there actually got a PS5 this past holiday? Raise your hands. Come on.
I know a lot of times, you don't want to be the first guy to raise your hand because everybody like laughs at you and shit. Don't worry about it. Come on. Come on.
That's what I thought. Not many out there, huh? Yeah, so let's talk about these new consoles. Yeah, I just want to talk about how difficult it was just to get one this past holiday. Because unless you were filthy rich, or you were one of these very popular YouTube creators, I didn't see you getting one. And if you did happen to buy one at an outrageous price from eBay/Scalpers, that's another problem. Because you out there that bought these consoles at those prices fed the scalpers, and that I have a problem with. Any true gamer out there should have a problem with this. Yeah, you think those a-holes are gonna walk away from all that? From all that money? You think that this is all over? Nah, this is only temporary. I mean, next time a console, next time a game, next time anything comes out that is in high demand, these guys are gonna be right back at it.
Again, and again, and again.
It's because of greed. Simple as that, greed. They made so much money this past holiday, and they have the resources and the scalper bots in place to come back at any time they want.
In me power.
And the big box stores, they don't care. eBay? Yeah, right. Did you see how much profit they made out of all those sales? Yeah, they're not gonna help you. They don't care. Yeah, but the scalpers are just one part of the equation. The sellers are just to blame as well. You just justified these scalpers in motivating them to come back at us again and again later on down the line. And you know who's gonna hurt for this? The real gamers out there, the true gamers. You know the ones. And there are a lot of good gamers out there, hardworking gamers, hardworking parents that just wanted to get one of these consoles for the holiday. And some of them did have to pony up because, like I said, they're true gamers. They want to get their hands on these consoles and they had to pay those outrageous prices. And I don't think it's fair. All this greed is affecting the gaming landscape big time. But this, the scalpers, that's just one aspect of it. My friend and others online argue that that is the way capitalism works. This is a free market. But I'm gonna have to disagree there. I don't see that as a free market, and neither should you. Holding up merchandise for hostage and then asking for outrageous prices as if it was ransom, I mean, that's just not a fair market to me. That is just pure greed. Wait, that's just a pig eating. Hold on a second. Hold on. There we go. Much better, much better. Yeah, so what were we talking about? Oh yeah, greed. Which brings me to my next topic. Cyberpunk. Already providing tons of entertainment, and it's just the beginning of the new year. And by entertainment, I don't mean the gameplay, I'm talking about the glitches. Yep. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And you've seen the videos. Tons of them out there. Yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 and the debacle that it turned out to be on launch day is a result of that greed. I mean, here was a game that has been in development since 2012. I mean, 2012. I mean, everyone seeing this video, all two of you, were 8 years younger. I mean, let that sink in for a minute. I mean, back then, the Wii U was introduced for some reason. Wii U.
Stop it, you're killing me!
The PS4 and the Xbox One weren't even out yet. Yeah, and Sony released the PS Vita back then. Remember the Vita? You know, the handheld that's not called a Nintendo DS. Yeah, Sony would rather you forget that thing for some reason. Shame though, I mean that handheld has so much potential. I mean, so you gotta ask yourself, what the hell happened? I mean, for a game to be under development for 8 years, and somehow it comes out with this many problems, this many glitches? Remember now, 8 years, that's a long time. Alright, so let me put it into perspective for you. In that same amount of time, Nintendo introduced the Switch. Sony introduced the PS4 and now the PS5. Microsoft, Xbox One, and that other one. I mean, greed, pure and simple, that's what screwed up Cyberpunk. Greed and mismanagement, both. I mean, the developers had already postponed it so many times throughout the years. I mean, at that point, it was a joke. And that April 2020 postponement, that was the last straw, that was the last one. I mean, can you imagine if CD Projekt came out and said they had to postpone it one more time? Oh crap, my bad. Wrong clip. Hold on a second, let me change that. Oh, okay, there we go, much better.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Investors at that point were not happy. And I can sympathize with that. I agree. I understand. I mean, if I invest in a game and it's taking 8 years to complete that game, I would have a problem with that. I mean, I would demand answers, no doubt about it. But I would not put the developers and the programmers against the wall and give them a final ultimatum. I mean, a sit down with game development management at that point to talk about where they realistically stand, in terms of finalizing the game for launch. Talk about where they are, what they need to do to fix the glitches, the problems before game launch. Basically just to get a realistic understanding of where they are and what needs to be done for the game to launch properly. And then at that point you come up with a realistic goal, and if at that point it needs to be delayed again, well then so be it. Yeah, but I think what happened was that there was a line drawn in the sand by the investors, but the game has to be launched. And unfortunately, that's what happened. Yeah, but you see, using deceptive schemes, cover-ups, all these sorts of things that they did before launch, I mean, that's just a problem. That's just not a compromise. And at that point, it was only done to favor the investors. That was it. I mean, they have to make the money back, right? And this release sure didn't favor the gamers, unless you bought the PC version. But the majority of gamers out there that bought this game not on PC, I mean, they got shafted. I mean, this game was deceitfully marketed as something that it wasn't. And these AAA games are not cheap. They are not cheap. With this whole economic situation going on, I mean, forking over $70 is not exactly the easiest thing to do. They got a game that was represented as something that it was not. At least not on the console part. I mean, gamers were misled, pure and simple. Why? Yeah, because the developers didn't have time to fix the issues. They had to release it. And gamers, they're the ones that got stuck with the bill. Now the question is, can CD Projekt Red be saved? Of course they can. They aren't the first to screw up a game launch.
Is Earth in this game? No. Well, maybe. Something Earth-like, let's say, might be no.
Let's say might be no.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Hello Games did it. I mean, they bit a little more than they could chew. I mean, but they had a vision and they stuck with it. I mean, it took them a couple of years to finally get there, but they did it.
The Game Award goes to No Man's Sky.
expecting that. Amazing.
And they had a smaller studio too, so it's not impossible to come back from this launch. Yeah, but this greed, this impatience is not going to help anyone. It's not going to help the game development. It's not going to help console sales. It's definitely not going to help gamers. There are a lot of good people out there working really hard and just scraping by. And there are a lot of good game developers and programmers out there being worked to the bone to rush that game out in order to appease management and investors. And now we got people taking advantage of the situation and scalping consoles for 300% above market price, and we got game studios misleading people into buying their $70 game. This is where greed comes in. This is how it affects the majority of us. A few out there are willing to screw it up for the majority of us. That is greed at its purest. Hey, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I'm going to keep making more videos, so hopefully you'll come back again and watch another one soon. Thanks, take care.